We're factoring. Factor 12x squared plus 23x plus 5. So we check the powers of x. X squared, x, and then a constant. Perfect, they're in decreasing order. We look at all three terms. There's no greatest common factor. There's no factor that all three of them have in common. So then we're going to do the AC method to factor. A is the coefficient of x squared, it's 12. B is the coefficient of x, it's 23. And C is the constant. Remember, because you have ax squared plus bx plus c. That's where that comes from. Then we're going to take A and C and we're going to multiply them together. A times C is 12 times 5, which is 60. So A times C is 60. And we know the third term tells us signs in parentheses are the same. And we're going to use the middle sign. And then we're going to add to get the middle number. So both factors are going to get the same sign. And we know what sign it is. It's going to be the sign of the middle term. So let's write all the factors of 60. Then we're going to look at the signs to use. So 1 and 60, 2 and 30, 3 and 20, 4 and 15, 5 and 12, 6 and 10. So then the signs in the parentheses when we factor are going to be the same. We're going to use the middle sign. The middle sign here is plus. Signs are the same. We're going to add these to get the middle number. We're going to use the middle sign, which I said again is a plus. 1 plus 60 is 61. 2 plus 30 is 32. 3 plus 20 is 23. 4 plus 15 is 19. 5 plus 2 is 17. And 6 plus 10 is 16. We want the middle term to be 23. So we want the sum that's 23. We're going to rewrite 23x as plus 3x plus 20x. We're going to rewrite this trinomial in terms of 4 terms now. So 12x squared plus 3x plus 20x plus 5. We're going to factor by grouping. We're going to group the first pair together and then the back pair together. 12x squared plus 3x has greatest common factor 3x. 3x times what is 12x squared? 4x. And 3x times what is plus 3x? Positive 1. Then we do the same thing with the back two terms. 20x plus 5 has greatest common factor of 5. So let's do a positive 5. And then 5 times what gives me 20x? Well, that means we need a 4x right here. And 5 times what gives me positive 5? Positive 1. Okay, and if you notice, both of these have a 4x plus 1 in common. So look over here, if you had 3x times m plus 5 times m, and they both had an m in common, you could factor out an m. And you'd say m times what is 3x times m? 3x. And m times what is positive 5m? You get 3x plus 5, right? So where did the 3x plus 5 come from? 3x plus 5, right there. Oh look, we also have a 3x plus 5. So we rewrite the piece they have in common. We called it m. Down here when we factored, right? We called it m. And then we read off the rest of it. 3x plus 5, that gives us the second factor. 3x plus 5. Okay, let's try another one. We have 9x squared plus 5x minus 4. Okay, check the powers. X squared, x, and then a constant. So the powers are 2, 1, and 0. Descending order, perfect. You say, can you factor something out of all three terms? No. So we're going to do the AC method. So remember we had ax squared plus bx plus c. So a is 9, b is 5, and c is negative 4. So we're going to take a times c and we're going to multiply. So 9 times negative 4, we get a negative 36. Okay, so the third sign, negative, tells us signs in parentheses will be different. And we're going to subtract to get the middle number. The bigger factor gets the sign of the middle number. So we found our AC product was negative 36, so we write the factors of 36. 1 and 36, 2 and 18, 3 and 12, 4 and 9, 6 and 6. And we know the bigger factor gets the sign of the middle number. Sign of the middle number is a plus. So the bigger factor gets a plus. And signs are going to be different. So we have a negative for the smaller one. So negative 1 plus 36, that's the same as 36 minus 1, that's 35. Negative 2 plus 18, 18 minus 2 is 16. Negative 3 plus 12, 12 minus 3 is 9. Negative 4 plus 9, 9 minus 4 is 5. And negative 6 plus 6 is 0. Okay, so then we're going to rewrite that middle term in terms of two pieces. So we're going to have 9x squared. Okay, we have a plus 5x. So this combines to get 5. So 9x squared minus 4x plus 9x minus 4 is how we're going to factor this. We replace this positive 5x with negative 4x plus 9x. We're going to factor this by grouping. So group the first pair together and the back pair together. 9x squared minus 4x, the greatest common factor is in x. X times 9x is 9x squared, and x times negative 4 is negative 4x. Then we look at the back. Well, they don't have any factors in common, right? So you may be tempted just to rewrite this as 9x minus 4, but that doesn't help us. We need to have 9x minus 4 multiplied by something. So the greatest common factor is 1. There isn't anything more exciting than the number 1. So 1 times 9x and 1 times negative 4. Okay, now we have a 9x minus 4. Same thing in the back set of parentheses. So we're going to rewrite that. We're going to factor that out. Okay, and then we use the pieces that are remaining, x plus 1, and that goes in the second set of parentheses. Now keep in mind that x plus 1 times 9x minus 4 is also a correct factorization if you had done it that way. Okay.